What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is your first time here. Hit that like, subscribe, that notification icon, do all the things to help that YouTube algorithm push my videos a little bit more. And you never know, you could see me on a future season of Alone. Fingers crossed, hoping. Let's do this. All right, so it's hot, it's humid. I hope you all have stayed hydrated today. And yeah, come along with me. We are going to build ourselves a gill net. So let's go do this. So first things first, stay. All right, so first things first, I'm using Paracord to make this. All right, this is, I think it's Hercules brand. I get it off of Amazon for about, like, I don't know, I think it's $6 for 50 foot. You know, 100 foot's like $7, whatever. Okay, it's cheap, inexpensive, but it's damn good Paracord. All right, so hit that up if you want to. I use this stuff all the time for making things, practicing making things. I use it for my boot laces. All right, you know, it works. Okay, you can get 100 foot. It comes on this nice little paddle right here, so it really helps you unroll it if you want to. All right, so this is what I am using. Use whatever you like. Okay, you can use other material for this. You can use fishing line, you can use rope, string, whatever. It all works out the same. All right, so first thing you're going to want to do is you want to tie off your main line. Okay, now this is your main line, as in, like, this is your foundation. This is what you are going to tie everything else off to, and, you know, make your gill net out of. All right, so in order to do that, you want to find 2 trees, 2 posts, 2 poles, whatever you got, you know, a decent distance apart, you know, that you can get some length, whatever length you want for making your gill net. Okay, then simply enough, you're going to tie it off to one tree and follow it on down, and you can then tie it off to the other tree. Okay, all right, and a quick tip, if you are using Paracord, make sure you close off your ends. All right, so if you have a lighter, flame source, whatever nearby, seal that off. Okay, that keeps everything tight and solid, keeps all those strands there. So, you know, proper etiquette, seal your Paracord. All right, so once you have your main line all set and tied up tight, you're going to want to get all your little pieces, your little strands that you're going to tie off to it, that you're going to weave into your gill net. All right, so take your Paracord. All right, I got a few pieces right here. Measure it off. You know, however, I got roughly a little over 6 foot on an arm span. Okay, so you can kind of match, keep the length, and just cut it. Don't worry about sealing these ends off. You're going to take the strands out of that. So yeah, and let me just take a little minute right here. Y'all see that right there? Okay, that is the Leatherman Charge. Okay, titanium. All right, this thing is a thing of beauty, and it's amazing. All right, I had the Signal for quite a few years, used the hell out of it. Was a wonderful piece. Nothing wrong with it. Didn't break, didn't wear out, nothing was wrong with it. I just felt like upgrading, got me to the good one. Okay, so with that being said, like I said, cut yourself a few off. Okay, set those to the side, and then you're going to want to peel right out. Take it right out of that outer jacket, because what you're going to want, okay, don't throw that away. You can always use that. All right, because what you're going to want is these strands right here on the inside here. Okay, so that's what you're going to need. All right, another little side note, as I said, I like using cheaper Paracord, if you want to say, which Paracord's not that expensive, but come on, it can get up there. I've seen it for like $30. Okay, so here's a little quick tip. Do not buy a Paracord from Home Depot. Okay, stay away from that. All right, believe it or not, this is round 2 of trying to make this video, because I bought some Paracord because I didn't want to use what I had here at the house, you know, so I bought some cheap Paracord from Home Depot, thought I'd get it done. When I got to this exact point, to pull these strands out, there wasn't strands inside. This was all loose little fibers that was all tucked away in there. Couldn't do anything with it. Okay, so you know, cheaper paracord is good. No Home Depot. All right, so back to it. Pull your strands out, and then we'll go get them tied off. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm down to my last strand that I'm going to tie on. All right, so once you pull out all your strands, what I like to do is take them, I throw them over the main line. Okay, so I have two ends right there. All right, you're gonna have to put them over the main line anyway to do this, so why not? Keeps them up out of the ground. They don't pick up little sticks or leaves or anything that you're gonna have to deal with. All right, and real simple. Take it. I do an underhand knot or a loop knot, whatever you want to call it. All right, so take your loop, tie it in on itself. Okay. Try to be consistent. Try to be all even with how you're doing them. All right, and then bam, you got that. Take your other end, which you've already thrown over your main line. Pass it on through. And pull it up. Okay, now you want to make sure, I'll get over here to see this. You want to make sure that when you pull this back on itself, that loop goes over that knot so it locks it in place. Okay, so bam, just like that. Now what I like to do is I like to pull it tight and then slide it into place. Okay, now once you get all your pieces on that you want, okay, like I said, I tied all mine on now. That was the last one. All right, I have a total of 28 strands. All right, typical paracord has 7 strands inside, all good for about 50 pounds a piece. All right, so I'm spaced out 3 to 3.5 inches. So I should come in somewhere after making this about an 8.5, 9 foot-ish net. All right, which will work for some of the creeks and smaller little waterways in my area. All right, so remember that when you're spacing out. All right, the size that you're going to need, the length that you want, what kind of fish are you trying to catch? All right, you want the real little ones? No. All right, you want the big ones that you're going to eat. All right, so something decent that's going to trap a decent fish. Let the little ones go. Okay, all right, let's reset the camera and we'll start getting this tied up. Oh, once again, once you get everything, all your strands all tied up, now you just start weaving your net, which again, another simple process. Okay, you start at one end. It doesn't matter left, right, whichever way you're working. Okay, makes no difference. All right, start, take your 2 strands, okay, bring them down to a point. All right, however big of a hole that you want, pinch them together. All right, and then very simple. You're gonna tie them together, okay? So you're just gonna go back and forth, left to right, right to left, makes no difference. 2 by 2 by 2, okay? Again, take your ends, pinch them together. Make a simple knot. All right, so after a few passes back and forth, that steady left to right march, just tying up your knots, you should start getting your square net pattern look to your gill net here. All right, now consistency is key. Try to be as neat and clean as possible with it, but hey, you're doing this by hand, okay? So some of your squares, some of your points might be bigger than others, some might be a little bit smaller, you know, it's no big deal. Remember, you're doing this by hand. All right, you want uniformity, you want it to be pretty and beautiful. All right, just buy a factory one, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. So, with that being said, you just keep on going back and forth until you're out of string. You've done weaving your gill net here and you've reached, you know, the required depth that you want. All right, you're going to want to make sure you clean up all your ends, all your little loose strings down here at the bottom. Okay, so you pull out your knife. All right, if your multi-tool has a pair of scissors like this Leatherman Charge does, you can just go right on through, snip them off. Okay. So you snip those off, and you can save these, and you can use these to patch any holes just in case a fish rips through or, you know, gets a little damaged from rocks or branches. All right, now that we're up off the ground, y'all remember those cut pieces? All right, all these little cut strands that we pulled the outer jacket off of. Okay, and I told you not to throw that outer jacket away. All right, here's what we're gonna do with it. Okay, start out with one. We'll just keep the other one here on the shoulder. Okay, I'm gonna do same thing. We're gonna just get a little knot tied into this. All right, we're gonna tie it up here to our main line. All right, so use whatever knot you want. You want a fancy knot? You want a simple knot? I do not care. Ha! Dad jokes. All right, so do whatever you want. Tie it off to the top. All right, now what I'm going to do, these are going to become our anchor lines. All right, so we're going to take this and we are going to weave it through our gill net all the way down to the bottom, and then at the end of this we can tie off a weight, a rock, anything like that, something that's going to keep the tension down and allow this to not float away. Okay, so like I said, simple enough. We're just gonna weave it on through. All right, start with one. Move to the next one. So looks like that last clip, until y'all fell over, was mostly my earring just being in the last part of that while I was tying this on. And yeah, so sorry about that. And before anybody makes a comment about my big earrings, okay, seems like someone always likes to make a comment about my big earrings. Okay, don't go running through the woods with your earrings in. Don't get into a fight with those earrings in. Look, if I couldn't function through my day-to-day life wearing these earrings, I wouldn't wear them. All right, but I can, so I do. Okay, so real simple. You just start at the top, and everywhere you basically got yourself a little joint right there along the straight piece, right? Because there's always going to be a straight end down it onto the side. Okay, simple knot right on through until you get to the bottom. Okay, you're gonna have yourself a little tag line at the bottom. Right down here, you can tie yourself a weight, you can tie yourself a rock, anything that's going to keep this down so that the water and current's not going to let it flow but so much. Okay. All right, there we have it. We made a gill net out of paracord. All right, so a little disclaimer right from the get-go. All right, now I know I said at the beginning of this, once I had everything all tied up, my spacing was somewhere about 8.5 feet. All right, roughly in there. All right, now once I've got this all tied up and everything's all good with the knots, all right, it's not going to be 8.5 feet. Once I stretch it out and I get tension on it, we're going to be sitting, a little over 6 foot, 6.5 foot. So it shrunk a little bit, so it's okay, but it's all right. We can always add more to this later if need be. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe, notification icon, do all the things. Leave a pleasant comment down below. I'm Dave. I'll see you in the next one.